Welcome back to Charlie Frost's YouTube channel. Last week, you might notice something a little bit different. We've got a fan here. It's absolutely boiling hot in the UK, so let me slide. Last week, we were talking about putting the prices up for Frost's t-shirts because it's not correlating to the target consumer I want. Something I forgot to mention in last week's video is a very interesting statistic. I watch pretty much every big clothing brand founder's YouTube. Quite a few of them actually vlog. The main ones for me I watch are George Heaton from Represent, Bruno Casanovas from Nude Project, and also an American brand called Misunderstood. Something I learned quite a while ago from Bruno's vlogs was that fashion brands, huge fashion brands, make 70% of their yearly revenue in Q4, which is absolutely nuts. Now, the big dogs are obviously still making a profit, pretty healthy profit at that. And if 70% of their revenue comes in Q4, that means 70% of their revenue comes when they've got a sale or an offer running. So in order to protect your margins, you have to increase the price off sale, so then when you are in sale, not only does it look more attractive because the products are that much cheaper, you're selling at a price that you probably would have been happy for selling it at normally anyway. And that just reinforces my idea of upping my prices in general, because when I was rebranding for Motor Club last year, which looking back on it now, that rebrand was absolutely trash, because it was like that picture of Greg in Diary of a Wimpy Kid where it's like before and after and it's the exact same photo. But what I did, which I didn't usually do because I was against it at the time, but I'm not now, was doing a summer sale. It technically wasn't summer, I think I'm pretty sure it was in April or March. And I called it like a warehouse sale because we were moving warehouses. Technically that was true because I moved out of Blanks Works and moved into here. But that sale in terms of my size did really well. As did the sale last year for Black Friday, which just adds up to all the sauce that they're saying. Taking Represent as an example as well, currently they've got an event on called The Vault. The Vault is literally just a sale. They just make it sound a little bit cooler. And you probably know Represent from this hoodie, which is the Owners Club hoodie. Every single Tom, Dick and Harry in Manchester and London seems to have one of these. But normally the retail price is £160. That's probably a little bit steep for most people. But when it goes on offer, I'm looking at one now, depending on the colour, one of them's £96 and one of them is £67. So on the green one, you're nearly saving £100. Your brain's thinking, oh, I want this hoodie anyway, I'm going to save £100 by buying it now. But you're not saving £100, you're giving Represent £67. And for me to get that same sort of price off my current prices, I'd be paying you to have my hoodie. And I'm not saying I'm putting my hoodies up to £160, by the way, but there has to be room in the margin in order for sales to happen. Because when we do have the sale, my t-shirts are going to be £28. All of them are going to be £28. Well, all the short sleeve graphic t-shirts. Now, yeah, I am still making margin on it, but I'm not making Represent margin on it. So there needs to be a little bit of give here. And I know some people are probably thinking you should be doing this for the clothes, not for the margin. And I am doing it for the clothes. The reason I'm still in this game is because I'm doing it for the clothes. I like designing, I like making stuff that no one else has and what's not already on the market, especially for graphic tees. However, without cash flow coming in, the wheels stop turning. It just means the better margins for me, the more products I sell, the cooler stuff I can actually design, because I've got a bank of stuff that I can't actually physically release yet, because the bulk order in order for me to hit my targets would probably require a startup loan, and we ain't taking on any more debt. The vibe I'm going for the sale, because we've decided to go around the path of just doubling down on the car stuff, as I'm conveniently wearing one of the t-shirts today, I want to call it like a car boot. So obviously car boot sale, I sell car stuff. Wow, what a genius idea. But I want it to feel nostalgic. Obviously our tagline is inspired by nostalgia, and this is what I've got so far for the poster. I want it to look like an old sort of telemarketing sort of show. You know, when someone's selling some like crap porcelain doll on Sky in like the early 2000s or something like that. That's what I want it to look like. And I'm going to make a reel like that, but to promote my stuff and have it going across, because I think I can do something decent. I probably just need to buy a green screen for here and then get some lights, which won't be hard to do. However, saying my ideas and executing them are two different things, because I also said the World Cup was going to be like a brilliant rollout, and that was absolutely rubbish in terms of content. Something interesting off topic though, we do have quite a few new samples on the way. And sample day is always the most exciting day. But they're not going to be here till like next month. Next month we've got a lot on. We've got new samples for fall winter, and also we've got our sale, which is going to fund fall winter. Let's see how we get on. I'm in my design bag at the moment, so I thought we'll show you a couple for what's coming up. I've not actually decided what graphics are on Petrolhead yet, because I keep making new graphics and the graphics are just better than what I've done. I made this one yesterday called The Night Shift. I think it's pretty cool. I made this one the other week, but I need to change some of the text because I think Foot on the Pedal's a little bit corny, and maybe a Need for Speed is a little bit corny as well. But the actual base of the design's pretty good. Another thing that has upgraded as well, we've got rid of the iPhone 13 and we just went and bought a 17. There was a last straw on the iPhone 13 that made me have to go and get a new one. I was recording a video for someone and my phone had been recording for maybe 2 minutes, and it came up with a notification saying your iPhone is too hot. You can only use it when it's at a certain temperature, so I had to stick it in the fridge for 5 minutes. After that, straight to Curry's the next day. I'm getting a new phone because that is awful, mate. You're probably thinking, Charlie, why have you bought a 17, not 17 Pro Max? You always use the camera and stuff. And there's one reason only, really. I don't like spending money. I'll happily send £5,000, £10,000 to China, but because I'm actually buying stuff that can make me more money by selling it, but I'm not going to sell this. I need it for work and stuff. So I thought we'll just get a 17, because the only difference between the Pro Max and the Pro and the base model is 48 megapixel telephoto. I don't even know what telephoto is. It's probably some random thing Apple have made up to make it sound like a high spec. And also, it's bigger and got a bigger battery. I'm not spending an extra 400 quid for that. So knowing Apple, this will probably last me another 2-3 years, and then I'll have to go and buy a new one because it starts slowing the other ones down again. Going back onto the topic of the sale though, I've realised why sales sort of work. Obviously because someone's getting something cheaper, but in terms of like actual business structure and flows, the definition of demand is someone who is willing and able to buy your product. Keywords: willing and able. Probably a lot more customers who are willing to buy for us but not able to buy for us because they don't want to pay a certain amount of money, or they don't have that amount of money. When you look at a product, without seeing the price tag, you already sort of make up in your mind what your maximum price is. So let's say I want this phone. I have £1,000 to spend on a new phone, but I only really want to spend about 700. If this phone is on the market for $999, so it's within my budget, I'm able to buy it, but I'm not willing to buy it because it's not at the right price. So I wait for it to go down on Black Friday and I buy it when I want to buy it. Because I'm still able to buy it, but I'm not willing to buy it at that price. And that's why Black Friday is the biggest time of the year. Q4, 70% of clothing brand revenue is made in Q4. It probably is made between the dates of the 20th November and the 25th of December. 70% of revenue is made then. That is nuts. The only problem with that is every single brand on the planet is running a sale then. You compete with everyone else. If I run a sale randomly at the end of July, which I'm going to do, I don't really have any other competition. There's a lot less competition because everyone does their summer sales at different times. There isn't like an exact week, an exact day that everyone decides, yeah, we're doing our offers here. So fingers crossed we can get all of these boxes empty. I mean, half the boxes behind my head are already empty. I need to order a lot more t-shirts. And this time I think I'm going to go for the split of 3-to-1. In terms of, for every 3 white t-shirts, I'm going to have 1 black t-shirt, because there is quite a few blacks still there, but there is not a lot of white still there, and I restocked the white at like the start of spring, end of spring, something like that. And I'm not bothered that it's going into winter and people are going to be wearing more black. Everybody always wants a white tee. However, I am going to end this week's vlog here. I've been doing a lot of non-clothing brand related stuff here, so this is why this video has been more of like a sit-down podcast in like 3 installments rather than a sort of vlog. However, if you did enjoy, please make sure you like and subscribe. It does help me a lot more than you know. We got a new video getting uploaded every single Sunday at 6 p.m. And if you've watched me before, you know we always end on a motivational quote, and this week's quote is the following: "The richest opportunities are hidden in plain sight, disguised as problems that no one wants to fix."